Welcome back, students. So in this lecture we'll try to understand about work breakdown structure. So what is work breakdown structure? So this is a way of dividing your project into different tasks and assigning each and every task among different parts of your team. So what is this work breakdown structure going to do? It is going to create an architecture. So it is going to help you out in creating an architecture. So this particular architecture is related to, or this architecture is focused majorly on planning your project, and at the same time it is also focused majorly on financial plan related to your project, how your project is supposed to be constructed and what are the financial or the budget related information that can be planned when you go with your work breakdown structures here. So this can be disseminated among different people that are working with your project, and it can also be taken into your management constraints. So the basic or critical factors related to your work breakdown structure is, or if I say that my project is supposed to be a success, so these particular critical factors will play a major role. First is good work breakdown structure. So if your work breakdown structure is created at a very minute level, or if it is created very clearly, then the development of your project goes very smoothly, and you can say that your project was successfully developed as per the customer requirements. Next, this particular work breakdown structure, it should be in synchronization with the process which is followed during your project development. So if it is not aligned with the process related to your project development, then what happens is you may get some mismatches related to your project releases, and that may result in ending up with non-synchronized outcome or non-synchronized product. So your work breakdown structure, it should be in synchronized with the process related to your project development. Then you can achieve a good project here. Right. So this particular work breakdown structure, it is considered as a hierarchy here. So what does this hierarchy consist of is, it is going to consist of a decomposed information related to your tasks that are provided and the your plan related to your project. Right. So what is this work breakdown structure going to have? First, it is going to have it is going to give you a pictorial representation of overall works that are available or that are supposed to be taken into your project development. So your work breakdown structure is going to give you a clear plan related to your project development. Next, it is going to give you a clear plan related to the tasks that are supposed to be assigned to your teams, and how they can be assessed based on your team management. And what are the responsibilities of each and every member of your team. So that is also taken into your work breakdown structure. And third is, it is going to create you a schedule, or it is going to help you out in creating a framework related to the schedules of what are the budgets that are supposed to be released at which instance, what is the expenditure of your each and every instance, and what are the schedules related to each and every release or each and every phase of your project development. So your work breakdown structure is going to have decomposed information of all these three different characteristics of your project. Fine. So there are some problems with your work breakdown structures in your conventional model. So first is, your conventional model is not the work breakdown structure which is followed in your conventional model is not structured properly, or it is prematurely structured here. So throughout your product design, what is your conventional model doing is, it is going to create your work breakdown structure beforehand, and it starts working with your project. So this may not be in line with your requirements that may come in future. So it is not matured structure here. So this particular diagram, which is going to help you out in understanding what is the structure used by your conventional work model here. Next, your work breakdown structure in your conventional model, it is not it is not helping you out in decomposing your information very clearly. At the same time, it is not planning or helping you out plan your information beforehand. So here, if you are working on a larger project, or if you are working on your large projects, you might be planning your project very in detail or very huge. Or if you are working on a smaller projects, the plans which are made on that particular smaller projects might be less, or it might not be very in detail. So this in detailed information may or may not result in helping you out working with your project completely. So this like it will not help you out in focusing on the only required part of your project development. Either you go with planning your details more, or you may go with planning your details less. So that is another problem with your work breakdown structure in your conventional conventional model. And third is it is purely related to your project specific here. Like this work breakdown structure, it is focusing more on your project phases, different phases at this particular point. So here, what is this work? It is going to compare, like in this particular thing, it is going to compare the financial risk related financial related aspects, the budgets related to your projects are not planned properly. So these are the three different issues we have with your conventional model. So first issue, it is going to be more focused towards your management or the teams which are working on your management. Second issue is purely related to the budgets related to the project size. Depending on your project size, you may or may not create your your work breakdown structure in detail. And third, it is going to compare the budget with your existing project along with your previous project, and it is going to take that into consideration. So these are the three different problems with your work breakdown structures in your conventional model, right? So what is this work breakdown? How the evaluation of your work breakdown structure has come into picture now? So this it is going to help you out, as we already said, it is going to help you out in arranging your task in a hierarchy. So this particular hierarchy consists of three different types of elements now. So first type of elements, we take them to be your first level elements. So what are these first level elements? So first level elements majorly focus on planning the process of your project. So what are the different plans that are supposed to be taken when you go with project development? So that is majorly planned with your, or that is majorly concerned with your first level elements here. So it is purely related to a broad categorization of your project, and what are the artifacts related to that particular broad categorization of your projects are focused in your first level elements. Second is your second level elements. So this particular second level elements, they majorly focus on the different phases of your project. How many phases you have at each and every phase, what is that you need to focus on, and what is that you need to take into consideration. So how many phases that are evolved throughout your work breakdown structure, that is a major concern with your second level project. And third level is going to be, third level elements will focus majorly on what is the process or what are the different forms of activities that you are going to use in your project development here. So these are the three different types of elements which your work breakdown structure is going to categorize and create a hierarchy here. So you have one diagram which represents these three different types of categories, followed by your evaluation model related to your work breakdown structure, which you can find in your PDF. Because of space constraint, I did not take it here, right? So your work breakdown structure, whenever you are creating these three different types of elements, as we already discussed, first you go with your management related elements, that is your first level elements, next your phase level, and third is your process level. So whenever you are working with these three different types of elements, these are not restricted to the project here. So based on the model of the project, or based on the type of your project, based on the scope of your project, or based on your applications of your project, customer needs of your project, you can tailor your project work breakdown structures here. So this is independent of your project. So depending on the project requirements, you can tailor your project here or work breakdown structure. So in how many ways you can tailor them? First, based on the scale. So when I say scale, based on the size of your project, you can you can tailor your project here. And next is organizational structure. So this is related to what is the organization structure that is being followed, what are the different, what is the level of the project you are working with. So that is helping you out, and to what extent your organization is going to support you throughout your project development. So that is going to take into consideration related to your organizational structures. Third is degree of custom development. So this degree of custom development depends on the requirements of the customer here. So what is that customer asking you to customize this project with, whether you are going to accommodate them into your project or not, and to whom this particular customization is supposed to be provided. So that is taken into your custom development picture. Next is your business context. So when I go with your business context, say if you are going to create a project to a person or to a customer who is broadly clear with your project, then you are supposed to categorize your project very clearly to that particular customer. And if you are going to create a project to a person who is not well versed with your project functionalities, then you are going to tailor your project in such a fashion that the naive user can also understand your project. So depending on the applications of your project, depending on the customer requirements, you are supposed to tailor your project here. Next, precedent experience. So depending on your previous experiences of your projects which are already released or which are going to release, you can tailor your project requirements, and so you can either consider some requirements which are already given, or you can also enhance them by providing your own requirements also. So these are the cases where you can tailor your project work breakdown structures here, right? So along with all these cases, your work breakdown structure is also focusing on the fidelity of your project. So how you can plan your fidelity? So fidelity, always whatever you have planned may not be as per the requirements or as per your expectations here. So this particular planning your fidelity will give you a broad picture of how we are going to plan your project. So here at each and every level, you are given with different types of work breakdown structure elements along with their fidelity. So at each and every phase, which particular fidelity is supposed to be taken into consideration, which elements are supposed to be taken into consideration is given here. So this will give you a small picture of how your project can be used and at which particular phase, on which particular work breakdown structure element you are supposed to focus. So this is not the only this is not the finalized fidelity, but this will you can tailor this based on your requirement. So this is a sample fidelity related to your work breakdown structure over the complete life cycle of your project development. So that is all for this particular lecture. Let us continue in your next lecture. Thank you.